Hello and welcome to the first episode of Transformers ToyCast, brought to you by the Geekcast Radio Network. My name is TFG1 Mike, and I'm joined today with Peaugh and Optimus Scourge. Hello, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good. What's going on with you guys?
Yeah, just kind of taking in all the new toys that are kind of bombarding retail right about now. Taking a look-see.
Yeah, it's too bad there aren't certain toys that we saw at Botcon, or that we saw pictures of from Botcon that aren't bombarding the stores yet.
You mean the animated figures?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I so want those. So basically this was an idea that I kind of blurted out on the Transformers Animated Smartcast. They were wondering where to go after they were going to do season 3 of their reviews for their podcast, and they're like, well, why don't we do a Transformers news podcast? And I said, well, there's so many out there. You got TFW's podcast, you got TF Wire. We actually have one, All Things Transformers. There's so many out there, and the news all comes from the same place. For the most part, it all comes from the same places, whether that be Cybertron, CA, whether it be Cybertron.com, or, TFW, or whatever. It's pretty much all the same news. So I said, why don't we do something a little different? Why don't we do a toy cast? And each week, we'd all get together on Skype here and pick out one toy, and kind of like a show and tell thing, basically. Just kind of like, have whatever figure that you want to talk about that for that episode, and just talk about it and just kind of like share around, and have discussion, basically. So that's basically what the show is going to be about. At this point, I believe it's going to be monthly, just because I have so many other shows that I'm doing, and monthly seems to be the easiest thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it just seems to be the easiest thing in the world, and I think I'm just going to end. I think it's just going to be us three. I don't think I'm going to do it with any other people at this point anymore, because I've got so many people asking me and bugging me. I had a guy last night while I was in the middle of recording message me on Skype. Oh, I got a couple other people talking. We're talking on Messenger, and are you almost done? And I'm like, oh God, give me a break.
I just had a guy texting me like, please, Mr. Peaugh, answer my thing. And I texted him a couple times. I was like, I'm in the middle of recording for a podcast. And he's like, okay, but if you get done, or if you ever have some free time, call me. It would be the greatest honor of my life to talk to you. And I'm like, really? I just have toys. I'm not a Botcon superstar. I didn't do anything with the cartoons. I just have toys.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, between you and Spada from TFY, I think. Other than you, Gary, between you and Gary and Spada from TF Wire, those are the only three people I actually watch toy reviews from. So, you do have some fame.
Yeah. I don't deny that. It's still just weird to me. I didn't get into this to be famous or.
Oh, I know. You just got into it to talk about toys.
All of a sudden, it's just weird.
Yes. And I thought you when I first found your reviews, I thought you were doing this a lot longer than a year. I thought you were doing it for a lot longer period of time.
No, I started, it was back when we were getting those, $10, $20, $30 pre-release animated figures.
Just to kind of show off, because people didn't have them and they went out in stores.
Exactly. Everybody was wondering, like, what does this do? How does he work? And I just started just to say, like, hey, I've got this toy. I think it would be incredibly rude of me to not show it to you, and that's how it started. That's all it was.
Yes.
And I'm not going to
take
take
the days, man.
half an hour to do it.
Really animated.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yes.
The 1 cent auctions.
Yeah.
Good old hero. God.
Yeah.
Sound like Cup here.
Pops up every now and then, but
Gonna start sounding like Cup in a minute.
Most everybody knows who I am and everything else. Why don't you guys give a little bit of background about yourselves?
Okay, I'll go first. Myself, I've been around TFW for quite a long time. Before it had its own website, actually, in either 2000 or 2001, when Tony started an RID site, and it was the only one that had car robots. in back then, like, YouTube-sized videos that were, pretty decent quality was almost unheard of and back in that time. So I've kind of been there, been to a bunch of Botcons, hung out with, the TFW crew at Botcon and had some stuff with that, and got to know Peaugh over new animated toys, which we shared a thread and with a bunch of other people over on TFW of, basically it started off very simply and became obsession really for a lot of us. And I don't know, it's kind of come full circle now. I'll pretty much just wait, just because financial situations and, money being what it is today.
Yeah.
I just have to be a lot more careful. I can't go completist like I used to. So, and if I do buy something, a lot of times I'll sell it off. Or if I really don't like it, I'll sell it for cost plus shipping, and that's always been my thing with me. And I've always gotten kind of, people don't want to believe in karma sometimes, but I kind of do. And Peaugh will tell you a lot of times I've gotten stuff for him in retail, and it's never more than cost plus shipping and a PayPal fee because they charge it to me. So, and what comes around goes around. There's going to always be something that you need someday, and I've been on the receiving end of deals from other people and him as well, and it's just I think that's the way it should be. Instead, collecting, unfortunately, is kind of a greedy thing to a lot of people, and even to myself to an extent can realize that. But I try to, instead of say, okay, I got this guy, he's worth $20 on eBay, but there's a guy on the boards who really love to get this guy. If I have the money to pick it up and I know someone wants it, I will. I know lately a lot of that's less going on now, less people buying toys and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, I've been the kind of cost plus shipping guy. If you ever see my feedback on TFW, so I don't know. I just like to put good karma to other people and try to do right by other people, and hopefully it comes back to me some way.
That's cool.
Well, I'm Peaugh. I'm big on YouTube. No, I do reviews on YouTube. I actually, just the other day realized that, I've actually technically been part of TFW a lot longer than my current screen name is, because, years ago, this wasn't nearly as early as Gary was on, but, probably 2003, 2004, I think I was either Agent X or Nightwing. But I had an account on there for a long time just because I made an account so I could see the pictures, and then completely forgot about it, and then came back and started my Peaugh account a couple of years ago. So I hope they don't ban me for having an alt ID. I haven't logged into that account in years, and I don't even think it's still there anymore. But yeah, I just remember, I'm like, I do remember that, and I went looking through some old emails and apparently had registered years and years ago. Well, I guess not years and years, but 4 or 5 years ago, before 2006.
Yeah.
And you're still a vet.
Yeah.
You've been around long enough. I mean, just because you ain't been around 8 or 9 years, you've been around 5, 6.
Oh, I know. I just thought it was funny when I realized that the other day.
Yeah. I'm like Cup, definitely.
You could almost sound like him if you tried.
Yeah, Petro rabbits were terrible.
It's funny. Me, I've been on TFW, I think, for probably maybe 3 or 4 months. I don't know. The TFW boards are just so big. I was looking at an animated discussion thread, and when I first clicked on it, and it took me to page 1, and then it said page 1 out of 275, and I'm like, have to be kidding me.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one that we were in.
Yeah.
That's one of the most viewed threads of all time. Besides, the cool stuff thread, that's one of the most viewed threads on that board of, all time ever. It's one of the most epic threads, I mean.
And I started it.
But that was a continuation of a thread that got closed that actually had probably 2,000 views before that.
The thread that got closed had 1,000 pages before that, yeah.
Yeah. So that bulkhead thread went on for a good 2 months.
Yeah.
And then now, obviously, that other thread.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good times.
I don't know why they want to close the animated discussion thread down. I mean, I guess I understand discussion, but toy discussion is, animated toys, so you can put it there, so I guess that works.
Yeah.
Because the toys are coming out, but the show's over, so it does make sense. It's like we wouldn't have a,
We don't have a rid board right now or anything, or an Energon board, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Did you see the skin that almost became reality? That was the animated skin on the boards?
No.
Oh, Kickback posted a picture of that on Twitter, and it showed the boards done up in like TFA colors, and it had like TFW 2005 as the animated logo.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's like, this almost became reality, but because so many people didn't like it, they didn't do it. There was a lot of people who hated it. Even when I first saw it, I'm like, this is kind of like Justice League or whatever. What is this? And then I started watching, and I'm like, oh my god, I want these toys. Why aren't they in stores? And they weren't going to be in stores for 3 months. And then, that leads back to the whole discussion of what we just talked about, that thread there, getting the animated toys from China. But
yeah. The only thing that made, and I know this is very off topic of the actual what the podcast is supposed to be, but the only thing that I kind of didn't like about the ending of animated was Bumblebee never got into the Elite Guard. I wanted to see Elite Guard Bumblebee in the show.
Yeah, I didn't, because then I have to buy another figure.
That's why I wanted to see it in the show.
Wasn't he in a flashback?
He was Cybertron.
He was in training, but he never made it into the Elite Guard.
Oh no, he never actually made the Elite Guard. No,
yeah,
he was just. Yeah.
He wanted to see the gold and black Bumblebee on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
maybe he would have made it if there was the season 4. But anyway.
Maybe he would have.
Maybe.
I guess I'll go first. I picked out Astrotrain from G1. I have always liked this figure. First of all, Triple Changers rule. The colors on him are just amazing. The purple, the black, and the white gray. It's just awesome. I usually keep him in either shuttle mode or train mode, just because it's the easiest one for me to transform. Because you only have to move like 3 or 4 panels, and the train just looks. The colors that they used on this thing just look so great. Oops.
You have the regular G1 or the white Astrotrain?
I actually had them both. Right now, I just have the regular, the purple and black and white.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have the original. I actually sold my reissue. But yeah, I love this toy. This is just one of the best toys. This is probably one of the only G1 toys that is not a brick.
Yeah.
Mirage was one of my favorite G1 toys as a kid. Mirage was really cool. It's like a race car,
Yeah. A lot of the cars were really cool, like Sunstreaker and stuff like that.
Sideswipe. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. You mix transforming robots with really cool car alt modes, you get good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a G1 fan, but also, obviously moved on with the times. And
I like some of the other toys, like with TFA and stuff like that. I never really get into like the Energon, the whole Unicron trilogy toys, because I never watched those shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like some of the toys from the Unicron trilogy, but I never got into the cartoon.
No, I'm exactly the same as you guys. I kind of ho-hum watched it, and I just didn't care for it.
Yeah, I got the
toys, honestly, because I had kids, and I wanted to get them a couple of them, and I kept, like the Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, or Cybertron Optimus Prime. I got him and Wing Saber, and I got the primes out of the series and a couple of the good figures like Scattershot. I got him, not Scattershot, Cybertron Defense, Scattershot. And not too many Cybertron molds. Primus, the Unicron, obviously, from Armada. Or, if you want, Universe, it's the same exact toy from actual leftover stock, just reboxed, which is good. Good for Hasbro, actually, that they're reselling some of that stuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of, and I know this is slightly off topic, what do you guys think of the new packaging, of the smaller packaging that Hasbro's coming out with for toys?
I haven't seen it.
Well, I don't think I've seen it either, but I've heard a whole bunch of people from Botcon talking about it. So I mean, smaller packaging, would that mean that they would end up doing a smaller size class? Or how would they...
I heard something to the effect of the reason they raised prices is because they didn't... Now, this might not be packaging, but they didn't want to reduce the size of the toys. Because they would have had to reduce the size of the toys, versus packaging costs and all these things and how much they cost at retail. They said they basically had to with the incurrent costs that were the last 2 years with the oil prices and stuff, and still, it's there's a lot of costs involved in making them. So, people bitch and moan about $12. It's, if you were in any other country, you'd be paying at least $25 for a deluxe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why people from Canada like Vangelis, I mean, it's like for him to pay $25 for a deluxe shipped to him from China. I mean, yeah, it's, he's paying more than American retail, but if he has to go out and look for it and doesn't find it for a few times, now he's already paid as much as he would in Canada, so why not just get it in the first place and be done with it?
Yeah.
I know for a fact he got Mudflap for $3.20.
Yeah, I heard that from a very nice fellow.
Yeah.
I mean, for me...
I took a $70 loss on that dude.
I need Mudflap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I think for me, because, I mean, I just started getting back into the whole collecting thing about a year ago. And, of course, I spent oodles and oodles of money on eBay getting a lot of G1 stuff, unfortunately.
What do you think of the classics?
I like the classics. I like what they did with that. I want to get classics Rodimus so I can have him and Shattered Glass Rodimus go at it. But
you have Shattered Glass Rodimus?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a great figure.
I know, and I let him go.
I know really? You did. Yeah, you didn't you? Didn't you send him to Ben?
No, I got one from Gary, but I got a second set,
okay. I don't know.
I didn't get your actual set, did I?
No, you got.
I got your bag set.
You got my add-on set, and you got the add-ons.
Yeah, but didn't you
got my bag set? You said you didn't want the Megatron and Rodimus, and then you said I got a Megatron from someone else. He's going to give you the Megatron.
And then you sent me but didn't you get me an extra Megatron Rodimus after you got yours?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't.
And I ended up keeping the Megatron and just said, "Why would I send you the Megatron? I'll just sell that on eBay."
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no. Basically, I bought a Megatron from a guy who was at the convention. Boards. And then you said you got me a set of Megatron and Rodimus, so you just went ahead and mailed me your Megatron and Rodimus set, and then kept the extra Megatron and sold, it all worked out. It all.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end. But yeah, I actually, it's funny, and I mentioned this to Ben earlier. The whole reason why I even started looking at the Shattered Glass was because I saw his review of Rodimus, and I so wanted that toy, and I started searching for him, and I ended up finding
the beard. The beard is so cool.
Yeah, the goatee. Yeah, and it's nice that it's actually painted on and not just something that.
Oh, you could definitely notice it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the Classics line is really, really good. I think that. For me, when I first started back, I wanted, obviously, because I'm a G1 fan, I wanted to get majority of the G1 stuff that I had when I was a kid back. So, like I said, I spent God knows how much money on. I think I spent $900 on 3 figures alone. Yeah, yeah, I'm crazy. I know. I
can't really say anything, but.
But yeah, I mean, it's just been great. And then when Animated came out, I was like, okay, I guess. And I think the reason why I started buying Animated toys was, I saw the Jazz figure, and that Jazz is just awesome.
Yeah, Jazz is a good figure.
Blur, actually, even though I actually broke Blur's legs off, Blur was just a body for a couple of days. And then I finally got his legs to go back on. I mean, it's just been great. I haven't really gotten into the Classics line yet. I just don't have the money to. And I think the only Universe figure I have is Cyclonus.
Well, if there's one to have,
that.
that's... Yeah, I was just going to say that. There's one to have. That's one of the best ones there is, really.
I thought that wave overall was pretty good. Cyclonus and Hound are both great figures.
Oh, yeah.
Hound is too small, I think. Hound, he doesn't seem like he's not. Is he a deluxe?
He's bigger than G1 Hound.
Yeah, he's a decent size.
But is he a what size class is he? Is he a deluxe?
He's deluxe.
Is it really?
But he came with Ravage. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
And the Ravage that he came with can fit the G1 launchers, which I found out about thanks to someone who got that figure early and ordered those before I knew about it.
Yeah, we don't want to put him too much on the spot.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first saw the Universe line, actually when I first saw Cyclonus, early YouTube reviews of Cyclonus, I didn't actually find yours, Ben, at the time, but I found like a bunch of other people doing it, and the reviews were so bad. It was poor quality video, and just the figure just looked horrible to me. So I was like, no, I'm not getting that. And then I was at Target one day, and I saw him in the store, and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I was going to get the Henkei version of Cyclonus, but from what I understand, he can look pinkish in some light.
Yeah.
He was very, very light purple. He should have been a darker purple, but he was purple all over. It was a good looking, but you had to get it in the right shade of light.
Yeah, I think the color layout was really well done, but I do think they need to go with
that one piece that didn't match.
Just a little bit more lavender, just a little bit darker purple would have been much better.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Matched the front of it. It matched the nose cone.
Yeah.
I think the only part of the Henkei figure that I would actually want would be the chrome nightstick. That chrome.
I do want that too. Yeah.
That chrome nightstick looks awesome.
Yeah, Nightstick is like I want to get like every version of Nightstick I can. Like I don't need the strafe version of Cyclonus, but I want his Target Master. Like I want all the variant Target Masters I can get.
So what's your pick for this episode, Gary?
Well, seeing as how the little thing went down, I picked up Leader Prime on a whim. I saw him. I saw a couple of reviews, obviously.
On a whim?
No,
and Leader Prime should be the one figure like everybody is like, I have to get that as soon as I see it.
No, I didn't mean on a whim, and I was kind of kidding. I said I picked him up on a whim when I saw him early on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And then as soon as I saw him in the store, I got him basically first day. I got him and Soundwave and Bumblebee and Sideswipe and the other guy. But anyway, with Leader Prime, he's just very movie accurate. Just an incredible transformation. He's about the size of Masterpiece Prime, to give you an idea. He's very durable. I mean, you feel like you're going to break him, but you're not. He's very solid, very sturdy. A lot of things lock into place very nicely and tidily. You got to go through it a few times to get used to it, and the first time can be a pain if you don't know what you're doing or whatever. But if you watch a review from whatever mode you need to go to help you or whatever, or you can figure out the instructions. Once you get it, it's like, man, this thing is cool. I mean, his alt mode is unbelievable. I mean, the way the backpack unfolds and covers up everything.
Oh, I know.
It just, and it hides all that stuff, so it doesn't quite look like a Transformer, besides like the split nose and stuff, but I think those trucks are split like that anyway. It's just very good in both modes rather. Very show accurate, about as good as you could get for a movie toy. I mean, of course, there's a couple of things that aren't exactly the same, but I mean, it's a huge improvement. If you got the other Leader Prime and you say you already have a movie Prime, this is the movie Prime to get. I mean, if you're only going to get one figure from the movie, and this is it. This is the one to get if you're only going to get one. It's got to be Prime. Megatron, the rest of them, they're not, not so great, but the leader class, as far as I've seen so far, Prime is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I having the three that are out so far, I got to concur. Prime is definitely the way to go.
Now, do the leader class movie figures, do they come in robot mode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I may pick him up. I don't know. I'm very I respect the people that love and enjoy the movie toys, but I've never really liked the movie line just because, I don't know. I understand with the movie that Michael Bay wanted to show all the, all the parts and everything else, and, for it to be realistic, but I don't know, for me, showing all the joints and the insides, like on the legs and stuff like that, on a toy, I don't know, it just seems weird.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, to each their own. We all like different things,
Yep.
No one has to like everything.
Oh, no.
And the way I feel about it is that we can all agree to like what we like. That's the whole thing about it is, like, if you want to collect, the little girl figures, go ahead. I'm not going to really talk smack about you, but I'm not going to do it either, But
Yeah.
if that's what somebody wants to do is the Bushu Shinkies, let them do it, man. I'm not going to go in their thread and troll,
So what's your pick, Ben?
For this week, just got him down off the shelf. I gotta say, this time around, I think it's probably gonna have to be Botcon Banzitron.
Really?
Because he is nice. And I remember I used to have the Mirage mold. I had the Energon Mirage, and I sold it off fairly quickly because I wasn't real big on it. But he is perfect as Banzitron. I just absolutely love him. I think probably easily the best of this year's set. Right now I've only got Banzitron, Skyquake, Leo Zack, and I've got a Landshark on the way. But I mean, just wow! From the minute I saw him, even in boat mode, I was like, I have to have that. and just I don't know if it's just the colors that are doing it and hypnotizing me, but I just think he's a much better mold than my original opinion of him, and I don't know if it has to just be the colors because I remember when I first.
Botcon figures do a great job on their paint schemes.
Oh yeah.
They leave no detail unturned.
Specifically, I think of Springer too. I remember when that set came out. I remember I was there, and I remember Brian Savage talking about how Springer at that point had the most paint apps of any figure they'd done, and it really shows. I mean, he really is a decent looking figure. But
I think my favorites out of the ones that I have is Goldbug, Rodimus, and Optimus. I mean, the colors on those three figures are just so awesome. I mean,
oh yeah, the Shatterglass Optimus is awesome as well.
I mean, yeah, set aside the whole awesomeness of Rodimus's painted on goatee, but just Optimus himself, it's just so awesome. And the battle damage that's on him, actually, it looks like it's a real crack.
Yeah.
Because it's just so awesome. The rest of the Botcon 08 figures, I don't know, I was very indifferent, and I've pretty much sold them all.
Yeah, I did too.
I've still got Optimus, Rodimus, and Grimlock for the good guys, and I've got Megatron, Starscream, and all three of the Predacon Minicons are the only ones I still have.
Yeah. As far as this year's set, I wasn't too thrilled with any of them. I don't know what it was. I mean, I think what's turning me off about Botcon set this year is even though they're doing a G1 Elite Guard, they could have picked better characters to do. Now I know they have, certain molds that they have to use or reuse or whatever, but they could have picked different characters, I thought.
Well, I've mentioned this a couple times, but I really really wonder if maybe they came up with the theme for the set before they had finalized which molds they could use, because I love the theme of the first Elite Guard. I would have loved to have seen it done with animated molds, because they could have done a really nice Elite Guard cup out of the Cybertron Optimus. I'm trying to think of what some of the other figures are.
Next year's Botcon.
Yeah, but they won't do cup. See, that's the one thing that pisses me off, is now that they've used cup this year, they won't make a cup out of that Cybertron Optimus. Whereas if they'd waited a year to where they could use animated mold, I wish they had taken this set theme and waited until next year to use it.
Oh, very much so.
I'm trying to think of like Thunderclash. I thought would have been great from the Voyager Optimus mold. And I can just think of I can't remember what all molds I had picked initially, but I remember going through the characters they had picked for this year's set, and been I can think of perfect. Landshark could have been Lockdown. I can think of perfect animated molds that I would have liked to have seen used in this set. One, since the Elite Guard came out animated, I would have liked to have seen it stay in that.
Yeah, I completely agree. It should have been an animated Elite Guard set this year, but I mean, I understand because the show was still in production and the molds probably weren't available.
Well, I get why they couldn't do it. I'm not mad at them. I just wish they'd hung on to this concept for next year. Because of anything else, like I really wish I could have gotten like a cup out of that Cybertron Optimus mold.
Oh yeah, very much. Do you want to talk about what we talked about last time with your recent acquisition of a very, very huge jet toy?
I can totally talk about Jetfire. I can't make him talk over the microphone again because he's in the other room. But,
when you first showed me that, I was like, oh my god, that thing is like 3 times the size of any other toy I have.
Well, he's very thin, but yeah, he's huge. I mean, like his footprint is very large.
Yes, I mean that alt mode, that jet mode is just it's just super huge. It's almost like it's a super leader class.
Yeah, it's cool. And he actually found he's got 4 different noises on him. There's a button when he's in jet mode. There's a button on the back of his on the back of the jet that makes kind of a little whooshy flyby jet noise.
Yeah.
And there's a button. At first, I thought he was broken, like maybe something is wrong. But it turns out because instead of having 2 lights in his chest like all the other ones do, only half of his chest lights up.
Ooh.
And like right across from where the other light is, there's another thing that looks exactly like the thing that holds the LED on the left side of his chest, but it had like a gray plug in it. And I'm like, oh man, it looks like they just plugged this up and didn't finish putting the LEDs in. But like that plug is actually the button for the transformation noise when you combine them together. So he's only supposed to light up on half of his chest, like he's kind of old and decrepit and all that stuff.
Right.
Which I thought that was a nice touch. So when you transform him, he's got the transformation noise. There's another button that when you pull down on his chest, it triggers and it says, it says, Jetfire is my name in the Scottish accent. And then it's only after you take the back plate of the gun off on that sound box, and when he's in combined mode, there's a button you can push that makes kind of a clank, like of them combining together, like transforming together noise. So it's really pretty cool. I mean, you actually get quite a good of bang for your buck for that guy.
Now, what do you like better? Do you like them separate, the 2 figures separate, or do you like the combined mode better?
I think they both look fine separate. I mean, Prime certainly looks fine either way. Like Prime looks awesome separated. And I dig Jetfire separated, but like they're so freaking huge combined. Like I'm gonna have to take a picture. Like as soon as we get done, I'll post it on Twitter. I'm gonna go take a picture of like my Revenge of the Fallen shelf because like just massively taller than every other figure on the shelf combined. Like that's how I display them. One, because I'm running out of room and like I don't have a big enough area to put down another leader class figure in the middle. But also because like he's just massive. I mean like even pictures I've shown with other figures, you just don't realize how massive the combined mode is. It's because Jetfire in robot mode as a leader doesn't really. I mean, he's huge as a jet, but he does not seem really any. He's a little shorter than Prime. He doesn't really seem any bulkier than any other leader. But combined with Prime, they're just giant.
Yeah, I mean those figures look really, really awesome. And I may end up getting Prime eventually. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's really awesome. I guess you could say that Transformers have taken over your house and you needed to put on an addition, huh?
Almost, man. The computer room's full. Like all my Revenge of the Fallen figures are actually on my dresser in the bedroom because the computer room where I have all the shelves is full. and I've got like Fort Max and Scorponok and all my alternators are now over on my wife's sewing table. Like they're everywhere. I need to get bigger shelves.
Now, what do you guys like wherever you do like your, when you're at your computers? What toys do you usually have like on your desk, like that are most accessible that you want to see?
I've got on top of my computer monitor, I've got all 6 of the Mighty Mugs. And then I've got landfill standing, like Rid landfill standing on top of my modem. And then I've got my perfect grade Wing Gundam Zero up there as well. And then right above the computer are all my shelves I put on the wall with like all my Botcon figures, all my classic in universe Autobots and Decepticons. And then way up on the very top shelf are like my Marvel Transformer crossovers and all the animated activators that aren't on the animated shelf that are like, like little Grimlock, little Bumblebee characters I've already got on the main shelf.
Yeah.
They're all up there on top.
Well, yeah, I still need to get some shelves in my apartment at some point. I don't have that many figures, but I need to start getting some shelves myself. What about you, Gary? What's usually most accessible for you?
I actually just changed up my desk. I changed up the top. I got pictures of my kids. I got 2 boys, actually, and 14 and 11. So I got pictures of them in their little league and football and stuff like that. And I have a Darth Vader Mighty Mug, which is, besides Optimus Prime, the only Mighty Mug I have. I have my custom G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter, a black bat. I have a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Robot Heroes RCs and Legends Optimus Prime. The only transforming toys I have on here, I have a couple PVC toys like Robot Heroes and the PVC Optimus and Megatron, and like a little Darth Vader Robot Hero type thing or whatever they were called for their combat heroes.
Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, Galactic Heroes, yeah. But I do have the little Legends, Jetfire, and Prime that I fiddle with to transform the little Legends figures. I really like those, and I like they can combine and kind of give you options.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're just talking about accessible from the computer, pretty much everything except for my Revenge of the Fallen toys. Because all my shelves are right above the thing with everything I just said. I mean, I turn around in the chair, and that's where the bookcase is with all my Beast Wars, all my animated Overlord, Omega Supreme, all my Masterpiece. Like, everything is technically within reach of me right here on the computer desk. Like, my Dreadnoks and my Destro and my Bat and my Cobra Commander G.I. Joes and my Deadpool collection and Ninja Turtles. I mean, like, all my action figures, with the exception of my Revenge of the Fallen, are right here.
Who doesn't like Deadpool? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can. I've
got
a little Deadpool cross-stitch a girlfriend of mine in high school made for me.
I heard he's getting his own movie, isn't he?
Yes, and I hope they do it right.
Yeah,
they are. They are. No. Wolverine is different. They are going to do it right.
Yes.
I know. It's Ryan Reynolds. I have faith in her.
What I want to know is where do you show off Fort Max and Scorponok? Holy crap, those things are huge.
Like I said, they're right here in the computer room. My wife has a sewing table over in the other corner, and they're right there standing. When it all folds up, or sewing machine all folds up, they're just standing on top of that.
Wow.
I love my computer room. Like, there's all sorts of crap in here. It's awesome.
That is very, very cool. Yeah, I don't tend to keep a lot of stuff on my desk, even though my desk is huge. I like to keep all my toys, like, in my second bedroom on my shelf, that's in there. I actually want to put wall shelves up, but I would have to paint the apartment first, and right now the desk that I have, it's a 2-piece, desk. It's 6 feet by 9 feet long, on both pieces, and, yeah, it's very hard to move. It's very heavy. I actually just moved it around last weekend, and yeah, I'm not going to be doing anything right now. So I have my shelf in the other room that I use, my bookshelf, and I'll keep that for now. Once I can start, I've actually kind of stopped collecting because obviously money issues, but yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a thrill for us to do every month or. I just want this to be very, very simple. I mean, and it has. I mean, this record's basically just been all of us, discussing our favorite stuff, and I don't want it to get too complicated. I think 3 people's more than enough to do a roundtable on, one toy a piece. Once you get into like 4 or 5 hosts, unless you have somebody like Vangelis who can kind of be the overall moderator, more than 3 people, it tends to go very awry, and it's very hard to control a show like that. So I think we're just going to keep ToyCast very, very simple.
Fair enough. I can live with that.
Yep. You guys have any parting thoughts or anything about your choices today?
Stay away from the business
if you
end
don't
of a
have,
horse.
what's that?
I said stay away from the business end of a horse.
If you don't have Leader Prime yet, get him. You are missing out.
Yes. Okay, that's my parting shot. I agree with Gary.
Yay! You win an internet.
All right.
Actually, it's funny. I was going to ask you, roughly, Gary, how many Optimus Prime figures do you think you have?
Black ones or regular ones?
Any Optimus Prime toy that was ever made, how many do you think you actually have?
Do you want me to include customs? Because I got about 20 customs.
Doesn't
Jeez.
just an overall number. How many do you think you have?
I have almost one of every mold besides all the beast molds. So I have the Robot Masters, the little the G1, the Power Master with the Jinrai armor, the black ones, the clear ones, the KO, the black KO, the Jafcon. I mean, dude, I have a lot of Optimus Primes, and I have a lot of black Optimus Primes. I basically got the primes from every series, I don't have a G2 Prime anymore, a Laser Prime, but I do have, RID Scourge, obviously the same mold.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it did not keep the lights and lighting effects that the G2 Laser Optimus Prime had that lit up his fist with the sword in his eyes. Kind of put a little plastic tab on the where the 9-volt battery cover goes. On the back of that cab of that toy, you can see that little cavity in there where a battery used to go for the mold.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you have a lot of them.
I have way too many toys. I mean, honestly, at one point I counted and I was over 1,000. So I've sold off some, but I mean, I have a complete G1 collection. So I mean,
very cool.
I did. Well, I don't. It's not fully complete anymore. I did get rid of the Action Masters, Pretenders, and Action Masters. Yeah, and Micromasters. I still have all the main bots though. Target Masters, Headmasters, 84 to 88 complete right now.
Nice.
Very cool.
I was gonna get into G2, but man, that's expensive, and then bonuses started shriveling up, and that's kind of why I'm kind of down to just, getting what I really, really like, because obviously our economy's in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this first episode of Transformers ToyCast. I have been TFG1 Mike with...
I'm Peaugh.
Scourge.
Yes, and we will see you next month when we will discuss more toys. You can visit geekcastradio.com to get all of our other podcasts, and we will see you later. And I think we're going to close with this.
Optimus Prime, who could live up to him?
See y'all later.
Later.
Peace out.